Quack is back, all right? Maybe, maybe not. We may just find out as we've reached the dark side of the moon. That's right. Terrible effort at punnery. Ken Carmen Kendo Slice here in this match brought to you by APM Music. Your content turned up. Master League 2s, and it's going to be the Ducks versus the Eclipse. If I rained on your parade, the bad news is that's about as all I can do. But we do have a wonderful co-caster with me, and that is Thunder. He brings the boom to this duo. And how are you doing, Thunder?
You know what, Keno? I'm excited because I get to kind of go double duty on this series. I get to cast, which is always a splendid time, in particular with yourself, but I also get to scout because one, maybe both of these teams, probably just one, is a team that I get to play in, I think, only a week's time, maybe something like that. So I'm going to be, jotting some notes down here and there, possibly, but I'll do my best to focus on the game from the caster standpoint first. And I think it could be an interesting one. The salary spread only goes as far as 0.5 here between all four players on the field. There's 3 15s and a 15-5. The Eclipse have a far better record in doubles right now than the Ducks do, but when you field different rosters, different things can happen. So I think this could be a lot closer than the records might be telling us.
That also, you have to combine that with the fact that Eclipse, you look at their team leaders and it's silence all the way across the board. This is an extremely well-rounded team. A team that not necessarily one person the stars, because to be honest, you look at those goals, you look at the individual effort there, and I'm seeing larger numbers on the side of the Ducks. So this is going to be a team that's very controlled. They're very calculated about the things that they do, and they still manage to find their way into our hearts with extremely high MVPRs and great efficiency. The Ducks, on the other hand, they are a flight away from putting the ball in the net, and on the same feather, they could find the ball in their own. So it's going to be interesting to see which version of the Melancholy Mallards shows up in this matchup. So I'm very interested because as a former Duck, Thunder, it's always fun to see the new quacklings on the pitch.
It's true. If I were a much smarter and wittier person, I'd be able to turn that into some kind of a joke about roasting a pig, but unfortunately they're playing the Eclipse. The pun opportunity is not really there all that much. But quackling is my favorite part of a roasted pig if you've ever had one. It's really a treat. Anyway, Ducks and Eclipse here. In the Master League, you're going to see consistent play across the board from all players. We've reached that level where a lot of those kinks are being ironed out. So I think it's a question now of which team has the firepower to force mistakes out of their opponents, because if you just sit around and wait for them to happen, they are not going to come all that often.
Well, we are underway, folks. Series of 5 in the Master League. It is 2s. So more of the same, and the Ducks going to start off with a little bit of overcommittance, and OG Krish, there's a name I definitely know, the former Dodger on the board first.
Just caught the Ducks defense off guard there. It was a pretty unassuming play, not supposed to be overly threatening, but the Ducks were caught in a very awkward position on their rotation, and OG Krish, I think, very smartly acknowledged that they were in a bit of trouble there. So the Ducks are going to be down early here. They have a chance, though, if Laser can place this shot. My goodness, did they place the shot. Upper 90, top left. As pretty as you like, and the Ducks waste no time tying that up.
That is very impressive. And for the Ducks, as I said, this is a team that is very polar in the way they go about things. You can see one moment flashes of brilliance on the offensive side, and then the next moment getting beat in the way that we saw the opening goal for the Eclipse going down. So it's a 1-1 game, 30 seconds in, and it's Cloud trying to get away in the way of the solar lunar happening going on. We'll push this ball into the offensive zone. Laser across through the midfield. Gonna have a secondary touch on this. Has enough boost to stay with it. Gets it into the corner where Krish is and gets boost for the effort. Allows for the 1v1 back the other way. Not as much of a solid touch the Eclipse would like, and the Ducks look to play their way forward into a positive forecheck.
The corner here now, OG Krish grabbing possession of this one. They're the goal scorer for the Eclipse after catching the Ducks off guard. The Ducks are in some trouble on the defensive rotation. Yet again, a shot slammed off of the crossbar by Cloud. That's their introduction to this series so far after being pretty quiet for the opening stages of the match. But that's not going to result in the go-ahead goal here for the Eclipse. They're going to have to work a little bit harder than that. Ducks are back the other way on the retreat here. The touch along the side wall is going to be pushed forward by OG Krish. Getting that centering, a little bit getting their wires crossed though, were the Eclipse there. And I think communication. Oh boy, is that a nice flick from Luck though in the middle of the field. I was going to say communication is going to be important for either of these teams' success, but if you're solo, you don't need to communicate much. You just need to flick the ball over the defense, and they did just that.
Those migratory instincts coming in strong for Luck. Gets bumped off the initial touch, and then will be pushed all the way in. Brilliant flick to finish it off. And right now, the Ducks, they're in control. They look to be dominant. And they're flying well together. Here's Laser. Chance for the shot on. Will be covered by both Cloud and Krish. Across into the corner it will go. Chance for the double tap does not execute well. But the Ducks' forward possession and pressure has really been a thorn in the Eclipse side. It's affording them more shots towards the net, but I feel like they need a bit better sustain, a bit more slowdown once they get there to really have the full effect.
Nice touch there from Luck to the far side. Great save from Cloud as well. And the Eclipse stopping the lead from getting any wider here. OG Krish misses the follow-up touch though. A chance to read the backboard, and Luck does just that. No luck involved in that one. That was all skill to make it 3-1.
And OG Krish needs to stick with that one. It feels bad for Cloud, who I'm not sure they had enough boost to really contest. And I see Laser on the back end getting a little bit of the demo. This is the Chippy Duck squad. They will be quacking their way to a 2-goal lead with 2 minutes left to go. OG Krish, though, not to be outdone. Cloud, chance down, will not be able to get there in time. Not the angle they were hoping for. The Ducks will quell the chance.
Now they're into the corner a bit awkwardly, though, here as Cloud pushes a shot mid. OG Krish, opportunity on net. Nice save away from Luck, who proves they can do it on both ends of the field. They're now coming back the other way with a 1v2 chip to the left side. Nice save there from Cloud, who has to follow up. Luck gets a piece of it, but OG Krish quick to that one on defense, and it's out back the other way. Cloud, a good opportunity here for a 1v1. Turns into a 1v2, and Laser one day somehow found their way through all of that. The counterattack back the other way, rung off the post. Follow-up is good, and Luck is firing on all cylinders here. The Ducks are really running away with this one.
They're finding a way to put the ball in the places that the Eclipse are not. And if you are the Eclipse, you want to lag back at least one person just a little bit, because these are very easy balls to field. The issue is you're seeing so much aggression, and it's a together thought from Cloud and OG Krish. No one there on the back end to stall that one out. A chance in the box, but again, the lack of sustain will not see a goal.
Well, the Eclipse here, they've got their work cut out for them with a minute to play and 3 goals to score. And in a broader sense in this series, you can definitely spot the improvements that need to be made here for their team. We'll see if they can get that started here by maybe picking up a goal for themselves late in game number 1. That's a good defensive challenge. Laser shadowing on that. OG Krish misses wide with a shot back the other way. I think getting a bump there onto Laser, though, as it gets sent off of the back wall. Cloud now rotating in air. Not going to find a follow-up touch on that one, though. Now in the middle of the field. Opts for the slow-low play. Air dribble. That looked way too darn easy for Cloud. My goodness, what a clean air dribble over top. Didn't need OG Krish on the opposite side. That was very sweet.
The thing was, OG Krish was definitely there, so great positioning by the Eclipse affords them that sort of opportunity. And the execution from Cloud, second to none. The problem is too little too late. 18 seconds to go. Means this is going to be a quacktastic victory, most likely. Unless the Eclipse can get one here. Here's Cloud. Too much time taken for the solo play there. 5 seconds to go. The length of the field to prove themselves. And all it takes is one challenge from the Ducks to steady themselves into a Game 1 victory. 4-2. Pretty impressive, if you ask me. Though both teams, 8 shots on the board. So fairly even at the same time.
Even indeed. It didn't feel that way given how dominant the Ducks were, taking that 4-1 lead for themselves. But the Eclipse, they were hanging in there. And if you look at the stats, are far more lopsided on the side of the Ducks. That comes as no surprise given how much scoring Luck was doing. But they had 7 shots to just 1 from their compatriot in Laser. So the Eclipse were an even-keeled approach to offense. They didn't capitalize nearly as much, but I think in a kind of a series perspective, that may really start working for them if they can start cashing in on these plays that they're trying to make. I would not expect to see too many games that feel lopsided like that one did for a long time, like the Ducks had control there.
Yeah, it just seemed like they were out of rhythm. There wasn't as much purpose behind the touches. That's something that's very easy to adjust upon for the Eclipse, and they looked more and more solid as the game went on. We'll see if those adjustments remain faithful to the momentum they found in the Solace goal at the end of Game 1. Right now, it's the Ducks, the early push. Laser towards the net will be played on by Cloud. All the way through mid and fakes the extra touch to get the goal.
Oh, Cloud knew exactly what they wanted there. So did Laser, mind you, as they were going for the demo. Cloud chips, goes for the bump on Luck. Didn't even need it, as it turned out, because the defensive touch was not going to be there. But Cloud clearly not too pleased with how game number 1 went. They scored an amazing goal to cap off game number 1, and they have opened this next one with a pretty dominant goal as well. So that's a player to watch, I think, in the next passage of play here for the Eclipse. And meanwhile, on the Ducks, I think they're waiting for Laser to get a little bit more engaged on offense. It's been Luck too often having to shoulder that weight on the front end.
It's going to be Luck at the moment, keeping that ball out of harm's way here on Neo Tokyo. 1 minute in, and already the Eclipse looking to set up more offensive events. Going to be a hot streak all the way down into the offensive zone for the Ducks. Laser to carry this up on the wall. Cloud is up early, though, to make sure that stays out of harm's way. So many resources, though, on those aerial plays. If there's no follow behind them, that is where they are most weak. Luck went back to the play. Will manage to keep that one on, and Laser showed lethal flicks before. That'll be another one. Bar down and in. Ducks quack to a tie game.
How does the old adage go? Ask and you shall receive. I said, hey, Laser, we've been looking for you to get engaged a little bit more on offense. Okay. Here's a monster flick from midfield that goes crossbar down to tie the game. Is that good enough? I think so.
And OG Krish gonna find another one here off of the kickoff, and that's just a misplay right there. You need to be there.
Yeah, you kind of just need to be there. If for no other moment in the game, when you're going for a kickoff, you just need to be there. And I'm not sure what the mechanical misstep was that led to that happening, but I don't think the Eclipse much care at this point because they just got to hit the ball into an open net and get the lead back for themselves. And here they are storming into the offensive zone again. Laser opting for the slow play on the sidewall, but they're losing the handle on the ball. Cloud's going to carry this one into the corner. Doesn't get the dunk, though, on Luck. OG Krish keeps the pressure on for a moment here. Low in the boost tank, though. They overcommit on this play. They could put themselves out of the defensive play for a very long time. So that's, I think, a wise retreat there from OG Krish. Meanwhile, Cloud on the front end flicks one, goes for the bump on the other one, but Laser actually, despite being bumped, still gets the defensive touch there. And this is a pattern now forming where you see the type of offense that Cloud really likes to play. And I think it can be incredibly successful, but they might want to mix in some team plays engaging OG Krish on the play, because if it's solo too often, the Ducks are going to get wise to that.
Wise is not that play right there. Laser does manage to cover the mishap. This may be luck. The doink down doesn't connect with Laser. I appreciate it, but you leave yourself in a very bad spot. That's going to be an OG Krish goal back the other way. Punishable challenges by the Ducks, and they are dynamically on the opposite spectrum from what we saw in game number 1. It hasn't necessarily been the Eclipse coming through with major adjustments to beat them. I feel like the Ducks are more beating themselves right now.
It does feel that way, and it was a problem that actually reared its head. Oh my goodness, let me pause for a moment and talk about OG Krish's air dribble from way up top, almost scraping the ceiling on that one. Oh my goodness, that was very nice. A nice compliment to the air dribble goal that Cloud found in the previous game. I was going to say the problem is that the Ducks are caught out of position and overcommitted on the play a little bit too often. That's not really going to matter all that much when you get air dribbles like that.
Yeah, I eat my words there with 1:50 left on the clock, and the Eclipse have shown, hey, it's not just us, it is spectacular plays, and we get one here from Laser.
Look at the angle on that. Perfect power to keep that thing underneath the crossbar, and OG Krish left helpless on the backboard trying to read whether it was going to be a shot or just a tap off the backboard. So that is now 2 goals to make up here for the Ducks, certainly attainable with 1:40 left to play in the game. And we'll see what they've got on the turn here. Quick dribble towards the net, not proving to be successful from Laser. They now chip it up into the mid. Luck up early on this one, taps it off the backboard. No defender goes up for that as OG Krish waits for it to fall. You would have liked to have seen a little bit more tenacity from the Ducks offense on that one. It was a big opportunity to take a shot, but I have to assume they were low on boost and couldn't quite send the house on that one.
In order to be tenacious, you have to have the correct positioning, and as you have kind of alluded to, they didn't have the positioning, whether it was boost, whether it just was a lack of mindset on, hey, this is a potential chance, we should probably be positioned here. Maybe it was just conservative play, but with 54 seconds, conservation is not what you need. You need a goal, you need it now, and Luck gonna try to deliver. Cloud will keep it to the side. Laser, another touch on, but yet again, it's 1 and done, maybe 2 and done for the Ducks. OG Krish, a weak touch out, and Laser cannot cut on that. In fact, this may go all the way.
And I think the biggest problem here for the Ducks is that they seem to be caught trying to decide what they want to commit on offense, and it leaves the second player stranded in that midfield zone where they can't make an effective play either way. That's a nice save there from the Ducks to keep that one out, but they're getting trapped in that zone where if the ball gets slammed hard enough, it's going to go straight over your head, but if a ball goes floating in front of the opponent's net, you're not close enough to make an offensive push on it. I think the Ducks need to be a little bit more assertive about, are they up or are they back, and maintaining the level of play that they find in those kind of one-off plays. They need to keep those up for consistent pressure, because this game, I think, could have gone a very different way had the Ducks made just small adjustments here, but credit to the Eclipse for coming back and tying the series.
A topsy-turvy result between these two teams as a 4-2 turns into a 2-4 in game number 2. But the only thing different here was very clearly the Eclipse, who were in charge on the shot and pressure offensive side of things. Ducks only 6 shots, 9 for the Eclipse, and I'd like to see just a little bit more of a game plan for both of these teams. I feel like this entire series is very much available for the team that's going to reach out and grab it. It's a seize the day time for the Eclipse. It's a seize the day time for the Ducks, and when they're in control, I think we showed through some of those excellent plays, they have a chance to dominate.
Very true. It is not airtight Rocket League from either side. And if one of these teams really decides to turn it up and capitalize on mistakes more often, that's exactly it. They're going to run away with the series. Here, meanwhile, the Eclipse is trying to get off to an early hot start for themselves yet again. Kickoffs have been an issue for the Ducks on more than one occasion in this series so far. We'll see if they can clean that up in the future. Luck with about the world's lowest Doomsy Dish attempt on that one as they try to dunk Cloud. Cloud now just muscling Laser one out of the way, or was it the other way around? Kind of hard to tell on that one. OG Krish, though, is going to kick it to the side wall and follow here with a boost grab along the side. Dangerous touch into the mid. Cloud first to it. Luck just getting underneath to get that challenge away. Laser on the side wall now. Opts for a slow dribble, gets it past one, still has control. Oh, the fake! Oh my goodness! Can we get the cleanup crew to pick the axles up off of the field? Oh boy, that is very sweet from Laser.
Yeah, or at least a crack open of a ball's Garana. That might be a good idea, because that was dirty. I would say a three shower level of filth right there. Not quite hazmat unit level, but you definitely need to make sure that you are properly sanitized and stay socially distanced, maybe quarantine an extra day.
Oh, you mentioned Balls Garana. They, of course, for the uninitiated, are our sponsor in the league as a whole and for the play of the week. So if you liked that fake dribble play from Laser enough, clip it, ship it, and either submit it on Twitter with the hashtag POTW or in the appropriate channel in the Discord, because there are always plays deserving of that title every week on this broadcast, and that may just be one of them here. Oh boy, is Cloud going to slam that pass home, and the Eclipse are going to tie the game here after being down for a solid 30 or 40 seconds.
This outlet pass in threes is bread and butter. It's very difficult to execute it in a twos environment, so credit to both Cloud and Krish, because that was exemplary. You have to shorten up the distance a little bit, and they punish a pushed up Ducks defense. The Eclipse showing us something. Can they show us some more? It's going to be Krish off of the backboard. Laser is there. Luck may require this namesake in order to keep that one out.
Possibly. Not for the moment, though, as they somehow get out unscathed. I think Luck just had a very good read on whether that ball was going to be on target or not. This could be trouble back the other way as Cloud opting for a far less flashy car load out here. Just a simple purple paint job and OEM wheels. The Stocktain, I guess you could call it. And we'll see if it pays dividends for the confidence of this Eclipse team. I'm sure that game win in the previous game is going to help a lot with that, too. OG Krish with a chance up top. This could be dangerous play here. Oh, great defensive touch, though, from Luck. That is not an easy ball to hit when it flies directly over your head and you have less than a full tank of boost to work with. So a nice defensive stretch there from the Ducks to keep the game tied, but they need some offense back the other way.
Oh, Laser, the zone out. That's a potential open net that Cloud will recover just in time. Luck had the chance at a large majority of the net to shoot on. Brilliance from the Eclipse defense to make sure that one did not go unchecked after Laser both physical and zoning in the touch. It's going to be played out, well zoned to the mid. Cloud gets the pickup, but Krish now in a dangerous touch. Not on the same page, though, are the Ducks to punish the 2v1. As that pass goes by the wayside and turns immediately into a turnover that brings this ball right back into the Ducks defensive zone. Now the Eclipse, chance on, it's going to be Krish. Takes to the sky early, but misreads the touch off the backboard. We see the ball once again neutral and dangerous. Does Krish have the double touch? Here, not quite. And the Ducks, the 2v1 back the other way. Laser looking to zone again, and Luck will power through. Just enough done on the front end.
Just, and I mean just enough here. Cloud, brilliant work to avoid the demo there and still get a piece of the ball at the end of it, but too strong on the ball was that Ducks offender. And it is now 2-1, a minute and a half left to go. And this is, I think really, this is the game where both teams are acknowledging exactly how close this is going to be and how few mistakes they're going to be able to get away with. So it's turning into a chess match between the Ducks and the Eclipse here. And right now, the Ducks are sitting on check, but it is not checkmate yet. We've got a minute to play here, and the Eclipse only need to find one goal. That's a double demo that's going to leave a momentary 1v1. The players were very spaced out, though. That's a weak touch on defense. Off the crossbar. Follow-up. The following player gets demoed. OG Krish, though, can't find the touch. Luck's got an opening chance back the other way. Tries the flick. Out on the back end. Nice catch on the side wall. wanted that air dribble. You saw the look, the search for that setup touch. They didn't get quite the right angle on that one. Here the Ducks back the other way, bumped off of the ball, and Kendo, this series is getting physical in a hurry.
It's so much back and forth. They are essentially finding each other in en passant. You're seeing 2v1s back and forth as both times the aggressor is the one with the ball. OG Krish looking to get this around Luck. Will not find it, and Luck and Cloud, Laser as well getting involved. They're up by 1, just need to kill this clock out. 6 seconds left. No demo on Cloud, but Cloud jumped to avoid it. Laser just needs to clear it away. Does so well. Trapped down, instead goes for the goal and will kill the ball for a 2-1 victory.
I will say a very interesting pacing to that game after what we saw in the opening 2. I think it really just shows adjustments and counter adjustments, both teams coming to fruition. We saw, I think you could comfortably say, the best goal of the series so far in Laser's fake on Cloud on the back end. That play was sweet, passing back the other way. And both these teams are improved game by game, and I don't know if it feels this way to you, but I really see a Game 5 decider, or at least the potential for that in this series.
I do feel like this is going to be a 3-2 series. Whether or not it ends up being a pure 3-2 series, I can't tell you for sure, but I do feel like both of these teams have another win in them at bare minimum. It's closely contested. Both teams did not want to make a mistake in game number 3. Perfectly reflective of a pivot game like a game 3 is. So now the Ducks with an advantage. I think the Eclipse are going to be feeling the pressure, but I don't fear for them because pressure is right up Cloud's alley, and what a play off the kickoff!
Hashtag POTW. Everybody's thinking it. We're all thinking it. So I might as well just say it out loud. Air dribble, flip reset, top corner. That ticks all the boxes as far as I'm concerned. That was brilliant to open up the game here for the Eclipse.
It's going to be a push forward, and the Ducks will look to match it. Just losing out on ball possession here. Force a weak touch out of Cloud, but Cloud recovers again. That's an open net. Scores! And the Eclipse have made a statement in the first 30 seconds.
My goodness, Cloud really taking matters into their own hands on this one. Nice flick. They baited in the defender by seeming like they had a handle on that dribble, but they had just enough control to land on all fours and snap it past. And that happened in the blink of an eye. Eclipse up 2-1 or 2-0 rather in this game, and they look dead set on tying this series.
And it's going to be a 2-0 series. And yes, we are aware of the slight malfunctions going on at the moment, and Cloud will score yet another one. The Eclipse are taking full advantage of the Ducks. Weak touches in the midfield, and Cloud 3 times bumped off of the ball through the last 2 goals, still managing to power through. It's been really electric play out of the Eclipse, and can they keep this going?
Well, I think the Eclipse, they want to just answer that themselves. They don't want to leave matters into the hands of the Ducks here. They are in control our own destiny mode in a big way. And the Ducks here just trying to break out of their zone and get a little bit of control in this game. They've got it towards the mid. Probably a half chance for a shot. Cloud dives across and makes a save on that one. Now cool chance back the other way. Now Cloud, not with a car to work with though on that one. Luck, a little bit late to that ball on the follow-up play. Cloud dropping down low is going to opt for the slower play here. Good patience from Mason that they couldn't get a touch. When all was said and done, great touch though out of Luck. And the Ducks are starting to keep pace here in the game, but going down 3-0 like that, they've got so much work to do here just to keep up with the Eclipse. It's not enough. They need to be ahead of them. And scoring goals here, 1 a minute is what it's going to take. And Cloud looks like they want to take more back the other way.
Well, it's done a brilliant job of picking up the ball in the midfield and carrying it throughout, taking advantage of the Ducks' lack of midfield presence, which is kind of strange because they've done a great job of making sure they've secured a couple of their possessions in the midfield in the past couple games. It's just been Cloud. Stick-to-itiveness, almost the ball on a string mentality. Tell right there. Laser with a chance to play this one on. We'll chuck it to the side, and that is yet another turnover, but apparently it's a contagious disease because both teams give it up, and the Ducks will get a shot on that will be fielded right back to the side. Laser looking to center, finds OG Krish, and Krish with a chance to slow play this, chucks past one, but not in time to get by Laser, who comes sweeping and screaming across as the Ducks maintaining themselves defensively, but the damage already done. They need to get more forward possession and forward progression on this ball.
And the Eclipse fully aware of the situation here and what is demanded of them to maintain control of this game. And they are not completely taking their foot off the gas, because that is an extremely a dangerous thing to do in Rocket League when you're ahead. They've switched gears a little bit to a game of efficiency where they're only diving in on the most high quality chances, and otherwise they're playing a possession game where they're just zoning the Ducks out of being able to make a difference on this field in pretty much any area. This is just textbook stuff from the Eclipse, and the Ducks are going to need a big change here to get this game steered back around. In the time that we've been talking about it, it's gone from 3 goals in 3 minutes to 3 goals in a minute and a half, and less than that now. So the Ducks are in dangerous territory now.
I feel like they left us with a lackluster chance, though. In the offensive zone, it'll be Luck. Will not be able to get the last person in OG Krish, and once again, they are floating the ball dangerous in the box, but there is no positional follow-up behind those backboard touches. It's the right place to put it. Stall the ball out, create more opportunity and happenstance for your squad. But if you're not positioning yourself to take advantage of it, why are you even bothering doing it? That'll be the mentality that they may have to take, as well as a goal of solace here as Laser will usher this ball in.
That's just another clean dribble from Laser. Nothing flashy this time, no fake needed. It just literally needed placement on the shot. Keeps it on the ground, goes opposite side. And the Ducks now give themselves, at the very least, a mild shot at this. It needs to be pretty miraculous from here on out. We'll see if Luck is willing to pull that off. They ring one off the crossbar there, very close. But with that chance going back into the defensive zone of the Ducks, it's burned a huge amount of time off the clock, and needing 2 goals still, it might be an insurmountable task for them at this point with time winding down.
Indeed, and for OG Krish and Cloud just kill the clock out. 7 seconds to go. The Ducks are knocking on the door, but it is too late. The family has gone to sleep, and the Eclipse will put to rest game number 4 with a 3-1 victory. Both these teams back and forth yet again. The battle for the midfield seemed to be once again the thematic that we were receiving, Thunder, but my issue is the Ducks were giving up the possession in the midfield more often than not, and I think that's what led to the loss here.
Absolutely. They seemed very comfortable with handing away possession and just playing a half of the game, basically. They just were, their job was to stop the Eclipse from scoring. And certainly in the first half, they did not manage that very well, as they got down to a pretty quick 3-0 deficit. And they did it in the second half, but there was no scoring to be had, no real offensive pressure, no threatening plays there from the Ducks. And they need to get back into that style of game that we saw be really successful for them early in the series, where they were finding little holes and little ways to get through the Eclipse's play and staying consistent in their rotations so that they didn't leave a giant opening on the back end when they do commit on those offensive plays.
Well, gaping holes, definitely not what you want to have in game number 5, and I get the feeling you're going to see something eerily similar to game number 3 as these two teams go to a best of 5 that is a natural best of 5 rather than the series of 5 we're normally seeing. Still up in the air is the series as we get a true 5th game in this bout between the Eclipse and the Ducks. OG Krish working the corner and Cloud right there to help. I sigh, Thunder, because you can't defend this backward.
I mean, the way Cloud's been playing, I'm not sure that you want to defend it forwards either, but it certainly didn't make matters any better. And Cloud knew exactly the advantage that they had in that situation, and they punished them for it, we'll say that at the very least. And the Eclipse, again, on the back of Cloud, have taken a 1-0 lead for themselves, the opening lead to start off this game. And the Ducks, after the way the last game went, after it slipped away from them in the opening half of the game, I think from a mentality standpoint, they need to find the next goal in this game to give themselves a shot. If the Eclipse go 2-0 and they go up again on an advantage in this game, I hate to call things early, but from where I think the mentality is at right now for the Ducks, I think that might spell disaster for them.
Good indeed, and for Laser and Luck, they are starting to show signs of desperation, but that might not be a bad place to be. A shot on, scores! Luck! Great pass and tee up from Laser in the midfield.
Oh, that was a sweet, sweet touch. It was like the advanced version of the pop pass we saw from Maple in the Foundation League series earlier. This with just a little bit more of the heavy mechanics you're going to see up at this level of play, the speed of play. But I love the shot placement as well, just threading the needle between the two players and shooting it almost at them, jamming them into the side of the net there and getting them stuck on the play. So 3:30 we have got on the clock here. We've got a tied game. And you talked about not wanting to play favorites. You're not cheering for either team. But as far as I'm concerned, if you're a caster, overtime is a team. And you're always cheering for that team. Oh my God, the dunk from Laser one day. That seemed like a pretty, a half chance there at the net turned into a whole chance on that one.
Might have been a challenge too soon by Cloud, knowing the positioning of your teammate and whether or not they're able to cover, and picking the right 50 is a major portion. Credit, though, to Laser. Took all the question marks out of it and turned it into an exclamation point. The power through on the 50-50 was brilliant. Now the Ducks are afforded a 1-goal lead. 2 minutes gone by. We're closely approaching halftime. With a play like that, OJ Krish might actually put some pressure on. It's going to be cycled through the corner. Ball is high, but Laser is there with the coverage, and the Ducks will see the ball out.
Eclipse now struggling a little bit on the back end to get control of this one. That's going to spit in towards the mid. No touch from OG Krish. Caught even Luck on the goal line off guard, and no goal comes from it, but the Eclipse are still in trouble here. Shot. It's high. Touch away from Cloud to the side wall. That's a nice negative angle there to get it clear of the shooting lane. Duck Luck now to the side wall as I get my wires crossed on the naming here. Duck Luck goes to the mid. Cloud's got an opportunity for a flip reset. Oh, and that time it's cut off. It is cut off early there. And mercifully for the Ducks, who do not want to see a tied scoreline as we head into the final 2 minutes of this game.
That's the thing. All he needed was to flick that one on. I'm pretty sure that is a goal. And for the Eclipse, they'll wish they had that one back. The Ducks in charge still as we continue to cycle the clock. Quickly approaching the last 90 seconds. Krish, the trap in the corner, ends up being a goal, and it's tied. Deuces Wild.
Huge dunk here from Krish, reading the play to a T. Luck so close, so very close to finding a retreating demo on that to stop Krish from getting that goal home. But it didn't quite come through. We are back to tied with a lot less game to play. And in the blink of an eye, OG Krish has scored 2 to give the lead to the Eclipse here. And again, it's a meltdown on kickoff from that same player, Laser, who had one earlier in the series.
That's one of those things you want to make sure you go back and figure out. If it's a controller, a sticky button, it's time for a new controller at that point, because you cannot have that. It's the greatest disappointment. Now Cloud looking for a goal. Luck will sweep it away to the side. Your team was up by 1 in the second half of this match, and now they are down by 1 in the very same match. OG Krish shot on, snipes the top shelf. The Eclipse are waning.
My oh my, the Ducks have seen the Empire fall in a serious hurry in this game. They had all the makings with that 2-1 lead and a good solid control of possession. They had the makings of taking command of this game number 5, and it has gotten very out of hand here for them. The Eclipse, full credit to them for being ruthlessly efficient on capitalizing on these chances. There might be a chance, though, back the other way. OG Krish, who's been, I think, an earner of a hat trick in this game, and will be touted as the hero of game number 5 for the Eclipse if they can pull off the win. It's not over yet, though. Although this goal could be the dagger if it finds its way in off the crossbar and the post. Ducks so uncomfortable on the back line there as the Eclipse continue to put the pressure on. And this is it. The Ducks need to find a conversion on this chance. They are not going to, as Cloud sends it all back down the other way. A missed touch from Luck on the back end. Hard shot. And Krish is going to score 4 of the Eclipse 5 goals. And that one might have iced this series, not just the game, but the whole series here for the Eclipse.
You gave me 2 numbers there, 4 and 5, and that's 4 or 5 misses in a row from the Ducks on the back end of this match. They did it to themselves at this point. They were in charge of this game and have completely lost out 4 straight goals in the latter half. Disappointment coming out from the Quack Pack as the Eclipse just need to see the time out. It is 10 seconds remaining. A ball centered. Laser will not be able to get the shot on, and the Eclipse, the event has happened. Lunar, solar, whatever you want. It's magnificent, and they will win the series.
All right, Kendo, I've been holding this one all series long, but
Go for it.
You know, I always thought Clouds were going to get in the way of a good Eclipse, but it didn't feel like that this series.
You would think, but at the same time, a small smattering of clouds during a solar eclipse. Beautiful, beautiful. Granted, I may or may not be blinded by the light of that sort of a situation. We'll find that out later on. I'll consult my ophthalmologist later.
Well, Cloud slippery set goal, if we want to point to maybe a highlight of the entire series, I think was it painted a little bit of a bigger picture of what the Eclipse found as their marker of success for their team. And it was that I think they kept shaking the mentality of the Ducks to the point where the Ducks never felt as though they fully had a foothold in the series. I think there was a seed of doubt in their minds the entire time about whether they were going to be able to close that out, because the Eclipse just kept proving that they were dangerous on a lot of different areas in the field. And it came to fruition there in the last game.
I think that you could take that a step further and then say that the difference between this could be a comparison contrast. It was Cloud's ability to recover on a lot of those chances, both defensively and offensively, versus Laser finding ways to not hit the ball at times, mainly focusing on the kickoff. And I'm not trying to be like, point your finger on this is why you lost. No, by no stretch of the imagination. That was an incredible series. It could have gone either way, all the way to the very end. And credit to all 4 competitors on the field, creating a wonderful smattering of content. And folks, if you like content and you're not followed already, if you like growing in a non-toxic environment, what are you doing and what are you waiting for? Apply to Minor League Esports today. Leave the follow. Get in on it. You got wonderful people like Thunder over here casting games on a weekly basis. And to be honest, we've already seen the growth, the development on display of certain players. All the more reason content is created right here at Minor League Esports. Become part of it. Join Minor League Esports today. Folks, you don't want to go away. Up next, we go to the highest of the heights, the Premier League, and the Lightning will go up against the Spartans, a Season 5 rivalry for the ages. So that's a throwback for everybody who may or may not have been there. But moreover, we're going to have Super and Sleegy, if I remember correctly.
Indeed.
Don't want to miss that. Don't want to miss that. We'll be right back. Minor League Esports.